Okay, I think I'm going to entitle this the How I Lost 40 Pounds in 40 Hours. And it's true, no surgery. Let me tell you that basically I was in the hospital and I was given Lasix injections, which is a pill that makes you urinate. So basically, I know I had gotten down on my plant-based diet to 256 pounds, and before I went to the hospital I weighed 314. This is all within a span of a month. Really, I gained most of my weight within about a week or two. How did I gain weight? Well, fluid. What happened? July 4th, I had fasted for 24 hours. I had gotten on the intermittent diet and I was able to fast up to 24 hours before the July 4th holiday meal, which was plant-based burgers. And then I hit a wall and I felt bad, and that started a month-long, well, it's over a month-long now, bout with diarrhea. And really bad diarrhea. And the clinic that I go to for my doctors and nurse practitioners, they would not give me anything very strong to stop the diarrhea. They told me to get a CAT scan of my intestines, and they told me I had diverticulosis, and then they told me to get a colonoscopy. So I went to the colonoscopy people and they set it up, and around this time in the middle of July I started getting low blood pressure. So I was all planning for the colonoscopy and I was getting low blood pressure, and I said, well, you know, maybe I can have some potato chips, salt, increase my blood pressure. That's what I did. And you know, I'm plant-based, I'm not vegan, so you know, I can 10% of my calories can be animal-based or non-plant-based. So I got some salty fried chicken, fast food, and my blood pressure stayed low, and things kept happening. Then the doctor gave me Lamotil for diarrhea, and that's when the weight gain started happening, it seemed like, and it was all fluid. We didn't know what was going on. So I said, well, if I can just make it to the colonoscopy, I'll be fine. And then my feet swelled up. I started gaining weight and volume all over, in my back, in places where I never gained weight, and I was filling up with fluid. I've noticed I just weighed myself, and I weighed 290s, and I said, well, I used to weigh 256 not too long ago. And then the night that I went to the hospital, I was 314, and I could not go to sleep. I had 2 days to go to my colonoscopy, and that's what I was wanting to do. I was on a low residue diet, and then I was going to be on a liquid diet, and then I couldn't breathe. I had swelled up. I had liquid or fluid on my lungs and on my heart. I could not inhale. I'd go, I was taking like a half a breath because I couldn't inhale. And I'd lay down and I would smother. And I thought my CPAP would help me. And it wouldn't. And I was smothering. So I was 314, and it was 10 o'clock, and the wife said, do I need to take you to the hospital? I said, I need oxygen. So I went there, and they came in and said, congestive heart failure and COPD. And I did not know what congestive heart failure was, but heart failure does not sound good. And I thought maybe I'm not coming out of this hospital alive. So it's COVID-19 virus, and I go in there and I'm in the ER room, and it's not the curtain thing. It had 4 walls, but no restroom. And they tried to get me a room on the heart floor. And they took an x-ray of my chest and stuff. They gave me oxygen really quick. And I was in that ER room for about 23 hours. I was there that night, and then the next day, it was 23 hours later, they brought me up to the heart room, cardiac room. And they gave me Lasix, and it made me pee. They gave me all kinds of shots. You might can see, it's been several days, but you can see the bruise on my arm where they took out the blood. They had an IV in my hand, and it got all bloody and messy and hurting. They moved it to my forearm. And they were giving me shots in my stomach and through my IV and in the back of my arm. And they gave me insulin because they took me off of my insulin was doing good when I was home, but they took me off the insulin, the sugar medicine, and just gave me insulin injections. I just take prick my fingers and test my sugar and stuff. But anyway, I started losing weight. I was 314, and then boom, I was less due to the Lasix injections because I was urinating all the time. So that's what happened, was I really did lose weight. And I started learning about congestive heart failure, and they said I had COPD due to smoking in the past. And so that could be asthma. They didn't tell me exactly, but I think it's chronic bronchitis is what I have, because I cough all the time. So within a few days, they got me out. They took pictures of my chest. They said, when your fluid gets off your chest, you can go home. And so I got to go home after a few days, and they told me to go to a cardiac clinic, get a doctor that's associated with the hospital, not the clinic that I go to. And so I've got a Dr. D.O. He's not an M.D., he's a D.O. And what I understand was that they're both qualified, but one of them does holistic. So I'm happy about that. I want to try holistic. But I got to drive 20 miles. And I'm in a big city, and I have to drive out of the city and in between cities. But anyway, since he's a holistic, I'm going to try it. I got to have my colonoscopy. This is Friday, and I got to have it Wednesday. So I got my colonoscopy rescheduled, and they're going to tell me what's wrong, why I've had diarrhea. This is August 12th or 13th, and the diarrhea started on July 4th. I'm taking Metamucil. That takes care of the diarrhea, okay? I just started that on my own. The doctor didn't tell me to take that. But I want to see what's causing the diarrhea, because I had it under control. I had IBS, but with plant-based diet, it was under control. So I don't know what's going on. So I got a colonoscopy, I got a new doctor's appointment, I got a cardiac clinic appointment next week. So I did lose, I'm down to 270. I was 314 about a week ago, and now I'm 270. I'm taking a Lasix pill. I'm studying about congestive heart failure, and what it is, my type is systolic. That means when my heart pushes blood out of the heart, it's fine. When it relaxes and lets blood in, that's the problem. It's a level 2. And half the people my age, I'm 63, half the people my age have congestive heart failure. The doctor said, I have level 1. So my doctor had it. And people told me that not to worry too much about it, that it's just something that has to be managed. And you manage it with a low sodium diet. I'm plant-based, and it's tough enough trying to find meals that are plant-based and low oil and everything, but low sodium in a restaurant is almost impossible unless it's a salad. And still, with a salad dressing, it's impossible. I thought I was doing great going to Cracker Barrel, and I'd have turnip greens and beans and greens, the G's and B's of G-bombs. And then you look at the sodium, and your sodium intake should be under 2,000 milligrams, 1,500 milligrams to 2,000 milligrams a day. And wow, you know that fried chicken, that cheap meal I had at Zaxby's, it was like 4,000 milligrams. Just one meal. And sodium, you know, is not good. And if you're my age, there's 50% chance that you've got congestive heart failure. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and like had Chinese and you had rice and you had broccoli and maybe tofu or something, but it was, and then you put on the soy sauce and you gain 5-10 pounds. I've gained 10 pounds in one meal, and I didn't know what it was. Well, it probably means that you have congestive heart failure, because sodium means you gain fluid. At the hospital, they told me if I went to Popeye's Chicken for a meal, I gained 5 pounds in fluid. That's what happens. So now I have congestive heart failure, I have COPD to go along with diarrhea that I don't know why, and I'm having a colonoscopy. So if you're a YouTuber and you want to make something healthy, and you don't see a lot of low sodium meals, low sodium restaurant meals on YouTube, I'm employing you to find low sodium. Broadcast low sodium, how to get. We found some low sodium potato chips because I wanted just something salty, because I can't have salt, but I wanted something healthy. You know, they're not baked. I was looking for baked, but that's what the wife got. And it might have been impossible to find low sodium baked. And she's leaving right now for something. I'm seeing her go out the door. You saw her walk behind me. Anyway, she's going somewhere. She's leaving in my white Explorer. But low sodium meals, guys. Help me out. That's the new thing. I'm a senior now. I'm 63 years old, and I don't have to have oxygen now. I had oxygen tubing in my nose for 4 days, irritated the pudding out of me. So guys, can you help me out? I feel a lot better. I feel good. I just haven't got out and exercised. We do have a YMCA membership, but I'm waiting for the colonoscopy and stuff, and then I'm going to go back. But I'm 63, I'm a type 2 diabetic, I have COPD, I have congestive heart failure, and all those things increase my risk and makes it more deadly for the COVID-19, the China virus. That's scary, guys. So I'm not going out a lot. I've ordered a Clear Shield mask. It's coming in a few days. It's in New Jersey. I've got a disposable mask, the cloth, not the cloth one, but the paper one, and those work really well. But my nurse from Blue Cross Blue Shield, who calls me every week to give me advice on stuff, she said to put a few water, spray it with water, and then put it in the dryer on low heat for a few minutes to kill, because it needs to be, the viruses and the bacteria, all that stuff needs to be killed. So either throw them away or put them in the dryer for a few minutes. So I got to be careful. All those 3 things. I'm a senior, COPD, congestive heart failure, diabetes, type 2. That's 4 things that increase my risk. So I hope it doesn't get me. It's a serious thing. But I do appreciate y'all. I'm doing better. I know some of y'all won't like it that I had gained weight with salt, but I was taking my blood pressure and I take my sugar every day, and they were all doing fine, and I had done the best on plant-based I've ever done. I had my Omega Juice and my Vitamix, and I was intermittent fasting. I was skipping supper, and then I fasted for 24 hours. I'm not perfect, but guys, I've been trying this thing and get off of it, but I think there's hardly anyone that does this thing 100% of the time. I remember Dr. Greger saying, yeah, I stay plant-based when I can. He's on the road and he's in the airports and he's traveling, and it's very tough to be 100%. So I believe in plant-based, guys. 90% fruits and veg, you know, low processed stuff, you know. None of us are 100%. None of us, I don't think. But I appreciate you. Thank you for watching my channel. The title is going to be how I lost 40 pounds in 40 hours, and I did that. And I know it's going to be kind of clickbait, but my request is do something low sodium and post it on YouTube. And if you have congestive heart failure or COPD, bring it out and let us know. God bless you. Thank you for watching. This is Plant Based Grandpa.